If my colleagues will indulge me for just 1 minute, I want to speak quickly to the elections that just took place in Venezuela. We applaud the Venezuelan people for their participation in the July 28th presidential election. We commend their courage and commitment to democracy in the face of repression and in the face of adversity. We've seen the announcement just a short while ago by the Venezuelan Electoral Commission. We have serious concerns that the result announced does not reflect the will or the votes of the Venezuelan people. It's critical that every vote be counted fairly and transparently, that election officials immediately share information with the opposition and independent observers without delay, and that the electoral authorities publish the detailed tabulation of votes. The international community is watching this very closely and will respond accordingly.
This is my video update on this Monday, midday, July the 29th. Let's talk about some news. And we are going to start things off with the elections in Venezuela. Yes, there were elections in Venezuela yesterday, and we have the results of those elections. Maduro, he has won the elections with 51% of the vote. 80% at the time of this recording, 80% of the votes have been counted, but Maduro has been declared the winner. The US-backed candidate, Gonzalez, but Gonzalez is really just a stand-in for Maria Corina. So he's the surrogate for Maria Corina, because Corina, I mentioned her in my video update yesterday, the Iron Lady, that is what the New York Times is calling her, invoking the term that was given to Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. She has been dubbed the Iron Lady of Venezuela. Why do they always have to reference British politicians? Zelensky's the Churchill of Ukraine. He is Churchillian. And for Maria Corina, she is the Iron Lady of Venezuela. Anyway, the Iron Lady of Venezuela, she cannot run in these elections. She's been banned from running in elections, I believe, for 15 years, according to the Venezuelan Supreme Court. She disputed this in January of 2024, but the Supreme Court ruled against her. She wanted the ban lifted so she could run in these elections, but the Supreme Court said no. She has been accused of tax evasion, as well as calling for a foreign military to invade Venezuela. I think I have that correct, but I'm not 100%. But I believe that is why she has been prohibited from running in these elections. So what they did, what her coalition did, is that they found an avatar. They found someone to stand in her place, and that person is Gonzalez. He is an 80-year-old politician slash diplomat slash businessman, I guess, but he's been in the public sector for many years. I believe he actually served as ambassador under Chavez, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he was selected to be her avatar, the 80-year-old Gonzalez. So a vote for Gonzalez, when you see the results, he got 44% of the vote. A vote for Gonzalez is actually a vote for Maria Corina. So the results were Maduro, according to the election committee, Maduro 51%, Gonzalez 45%, and Maduro has won re-election. Look at that beautiful tree right there. That is a beautiful tree. And some nice benches in the shade underneath that tree. I've decided to sit in the sun. But yeah, so those were the elections in Venezuela. And the United States is very upset. Notice that the media, all the analysts and most of the media, they say dictator Maduro, okay, but they also say the U.S.-backed Gonzalez, or the U.S.-backed Gonzalez, parentheses, slash Corina candidate. Isn't that interesting? Here you have an election in Venezuela. This is an election taking place in another country, and they talk about the U.S.-backed candidate. Totally different country, not the United States, but it's the U.S.-backed candidate that lost the elections. But of course, these elections are being disputed. Maria Corina and her avatar, which is also interesting. The avatar of Corina, they are disputing Gonzalez. They are disputing the results of the elections. Very weird, very weird stuff. But Blinken is very, very hurt at the results. Very upset that Corina did not win, and he said that the international community is watching closely. The international community is watching very closely, and they will respond accordingly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. More sanctions are coming. More sanctions are coming to Venezuela. Yeah. The international community. That's code word for the United States and its vassals. Yeah. Watching very closely that international community. All of this coming from Blinken and from the United States, from the Biden White House, a Democratic Party that removed their presidential candidate, installed someone to run in the November 2024 elections who no one really wants to see running for president, but they installed her as the candidate, removed their previous candidate, who is currently the acting president of the United States, and now they are using Jedi mind tricks to convince American voters that Kamala actually is the person that you want to run for president and that you want to see as president. You want to see Kamala Harris as president. You want to see Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party nominee. And now they're talking about democracy in Venezuela. Oh, wow. The whole thing is completely crazy. Upside down worlds watching Blinken talk about democracy and the international community watching very closely, and the appropriate action will be taken. So if Maduro can make it through the next 24 to 48 hours without some sort of Maidan event taking place, then he's in the clear. I believe he will be in the clear, though there are many countries in South America that failed to recognize Maduro. There are many countries that have already recognized Maduro's election victory. I think I have the countries that are not recognizing Maduro's win. Argentina, Peru, and Chile do not recognize Maduro's victory in the elections. Peruvian Foreign Minister Javier González Olachea called the vote in Venezuela an attack on the will of the people. Chilean Foreign Minister Alberto Van Claveren said the government would await the findings of international observers. The country's president called for full transparency in the verification of protocols. And then, of course, you have Milei, Argentine President Milei, who even before the voting results said that he would not recognize Maduro's victory and named Venezuelan oppositionist Edmundo González the winner. Milei is recognizing González, who is really just the fill-in for Maria Corina. And he said this even before the results were announced. He actually posted on Twitter X, "Dictador Maduro, afuera! Afuera, dictador Maduro." That is what Milei declared. Leave, Maduro, leave. Be gone. Be gone, says Milei. It's really interesting to see the political alignment in this election. Very interesting to see its shape on Twitter X. We have found the one person that unites the neocons, the neolibs, the Biden White House, America First, and the MAGA movement. That person is Maduro. He unites all of these people, and the CIA and the FBI. He's the one person that can unite all of these people and institutions. It is Maduro. Yeah, because Blinken upset, the Biden White House upset, the neocons upset, the neolibs very upset with these election results. The MAGA movement and America First very upset. The anti-woke crowd is very upset that Maduro won. The U.S. oligarchs are very upset that Maduro won. Elon Musk is upset that Maduro won. Milei is upset that Maduro won. All of these people, from Blinken to the MAGA movement, to Sullivan, to the CIA, to the FBI, all of them were endorsing Maria Corina. Maria. Yeah, all of them united against Maduro. So we have found the one person that can unite America. It's Maduro. Who would have ever guessed that it would be Maduro who would unite America? Oh boy. So yeah, more sanctions coming to Venezuela. That's going to be the end result of all of this. If they cannot get some sort of a Maidan event going in the next 24 to 48 hours, then we are going to see more and more sanctions. And sanctions suck. Sanctions absolutely suck for the country that has to undergo sanctions. Russia is a big, powerful, strong country that makes everything. And so in Russia, you can see the effect of sanctions, believe me. You can see it, but Russia got through it because you are talking about a big, powerful country that makes everything and was very well prepared for sanctions. But a smaller country, it's got to be really difficult to live under sanctions. Very, very difficult. And it's interesting to see all of these people that are coming out against Maduro because of the situation, the economic situation in Venezuela, not mentioning that it's those very sanctions that are creating much of this economic situation. I don't think it's so much to do with socialism or anything like that. Whatever, socialism, democracy, communism, whatever, dictatorship. You know, a lot of it has to do with the sanctions. It's the sanctions that are placed on a country that create the economic difficulties. But to be fair to Maduro, his last couple of years, he's actually done pretty well. Economically speaking, he's done pretty well. A lot of people ask the question, why are Venezuelans voting for Maduro? And we have the answer from Oli Vargas, who said, 1, economic recovery. Inflation has gone from 10,000% to 3 to 4% monthly. And 2, social security systems, food and housing, that people are scared would be lost under neoliberalism. There are other factors, but these 2 are ignored by the media. He's right. A lot of people are scared of what a neoliberal government in Venezuela under Maria Corina would mean. Now, I don't know Venezuela well enough to analyze the situation in so much detail, but maybe Maria Corina would be good. Maybe she would bring in prosperity to Venezuela. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe you would see something akin to the terrible 90s in Russia, where things got really, really bad, horrifically bad. But over the past couple of years, whatever you may think of Maduro, socialist dictator, he has been doing pretty well. I'm not saying he's doing super well or perfect, and I'm not saying Venezuela doesn't have a lot of problems. It has a lot of problems. It also has a lot of oil. But inflation has come down a lot, a whole lot. So I think that's everything connected to the elections. Let's now move on to the brewing war between Israel and Hezbollah. Pretty much all of the NATO countries, all of the EU collective West NATO countries have issued a travel warning. Do not go to Lebanon. I believe Saudi Arabia the other day also issued a travel warning. Everyone is anticipating some sort of conflict in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah. And from what I understand, Netanyahu has been given the authority by the Israeli government, I believe the parliament, I want to say, but the cabinet for sure. He's been given the authority to draft up war plans, retaliation against Hezbollah and Lebanon. This has to do with the missile or an Iron Dome missile, either a Hezbollah missile or an Iron Dome missile that landed on this football pitch in the Golan Heights, killing Arab, Druze, Syrian children, is basically who was killed and injured on this football pitch. But Israel now wants to retaliate against Hezbollah. I've seen videos of what many people claim to be the missiles or the Iron Dome missile. I'm not an expert in any of this. And maybe these videos are fake. Maybe they're real. They look legit to me. But it does look like this was an Iron Dome missile. But I could be completely wrong because I'm not an expert. It does remind me of the air defense missiles in Ukraine that try to take out Russian missiles, and they end up landing on apartment buildings. And after an investigation or after a few months' time, it's recognized that this missile was indeed a Patriot air defense missile. That's what this reminds me of. I'm not saying that's what this is, but that's what this whole event reminds me of. But as we said on the Duran, both me and Alexander, or Alexander and I, as we said on the Duran, in the video we posted a couple of days ago, and Alexander, once again, the Oracle of London, spot on. He said that, these next 3-4 months, given the uncertainty in the United States and the political situation in the United States, that Netanyahu is going to look for openings to escalate, and that is what we may have in this case, an opening towards an escalation against Hezbollah and into Lebanon. So we also had Erdogan, the president of Turkey. He threatened to enter the war in Gaza. That's what Erdogan said in order to protect the Palestinians. Erdogan is positioning himself and has successfully positioned himself as one of the champion of the Palestinian cause or the Palestinian movement. He has been positioning himself as that person, and he was speaking to the AKP party officials the other day, the ruling Law and Justice Development Party, the Justice and Development Party, the AKP. Ay, Alex, get a grip. The AKP. The president issued the threat on Sunday as he spoke during a rally of his ruling Justice and Development Party. We must be very strong so that Israel cannot strike Palestine, Erdogan stated. Just like we entered Karabakh and the way we entered Libya, maybe we'll do the same thing. There's nothing we can't do. We have to be strong. So the response from the Israeli foreign minister, Katz, he said Erdogan is going the way of Saddam Hussein. Erdogan follows in the footsteps of Saddam Hussein and threatens to attack Israel. Just let him remember what happened there and how it ended. Wow. There was a time when Israel was very friendly with Turkey, actually. But that relationship went under many, many years ago. So let's let's shift gears and talk about, or let's try to talk about, because today I'm not really talking so good. I'm not my smooth usual talkative self. I'm not very talkative at all as a person, to be quite honest. But let's discuss Project Ukraine. What a beautiful tree. I love this area right here. There's like a dude chilling out asleep. Good place to get a nap right here. So Elensky, Project Ukraine, he gave an interview to a Japanese media outlet, and Elensky said in this interview that Ukraine is ready to talk to Trump or Harris. Doesn't matter. Ukraine is ready to talk to whoever wins in November 2024, though you know Ukraine does not want Trump to win. Elensky does not want Trump to win, but he told this Japanese outlet, it doesn't matter. We are ready to speak to Trump or to speak to Diaz. Mr. President, it's not Cameron Diaz, it's Kamala Harris. What you mean? Kamala Harris. Who's these Kamala Harris? I thought Cameron Diaz running for president because Jim Carrey, he is playing Mr. Biden right now, and Cameron Diaz, she was in movie The Mask. I really like the movie The Mask. Very funny. That dog, very cute. But I thought it was Cameron Diaz, and she was running against Mr. Carrey, who is pretending to be Mr. Biden. No, Mr. President, that's not what's going on. It's Kamala Harris who is running against Biden, and that's not Jim Carrey. At least I don't think it's Jim Carrey. Podolyak, leave me alone. Let me do interview with Japanese TV network. Jim Carrey running against Cameron Diaz. Biden has gotten a lot taller, and he is walking a lot faster. Looks good in his USA Olympic jacket, I must say. And what was the deal with Jill Biden, Dr. Jill holding Hunter's hand? That was weird. I don't know what's going on. I'm just probably talking conspiracy theorist stuff. Don't listen to a word I am saying, everybody. So yeah, Elensky said that he's ready to talk to whoever becomes president. And he's ready to talk peace plan, but for Elensky, the peace plan has to be the Elensky peace plan. And that is the peace plan that is basically calling for Russia's capitulation. Russia has to leave everywhere, including Crimea. They have to pull all of their military back. What else? A tribunal. That's the peace plan. It calls for a tribunal. It calls for the Putin administration to resign. And it calls for Russia to give Ukraine 300 or 400 or 500 billion with a B, dollars, euros for reconstruction. And that's the Elensky peace plan. And he says that he's ready to talk peace, whether it's Trump or Harris, if it's based on his peace plan, the capitulation, the territories, including Crimea, abandoned by Russia, the Putin administration resigning, a tribunal, and $500 billion. That's the plan. That's the peace plan. According to Elensky, that he's ready to negotiate out. Isn't that generous? Isn't that generous and accommodating? Isn't that accommodating of Elensky to say that he's ready for peace? given this is the plan. Anyway, that's Elensky. Speaking from fantasy world, from fantasy Elensky land. But one thing really stood out in this interview, outside of Elensky's nonsense. He looked really bad. He looked really, really bad. Elensky looks like he has aged 20, 30 years. I mean, he looks like he is stressed out, like really nervous, really panicky, really stressed. So I think we can now get into clown world territory. And we are going to go back to Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to go back to the elections in Venezuela, and we will start things off with Elon Musk getting community noted. That's right. Elon Musk, he responded to a post on X from the account of Visegrad 24, which is, Elon Musk should know better. Visegrad 24 is, in my opinion, not the most reliable of sources. They post a whole lot of nonsense on the conflict in Ukraine. I mean, a whole lot of nonsense, in my opinion. I'm sure there will be people that are arguing with what I'm saying right now, and they will say that Visegrad 24 posts a whole lot of truth about the conflict in Ukraine. Anyway, it's just my opinion. But so nice, huh? I like this sculpture very much. So Elon Musk, he said he responded, requoted, whatever it's called. This post from Visegrad 24, which claims that Maduro police, communist Maduro gangs, colectivos, they were storming a polling station and they were removing boxes of ballots. And that was not true. Boxes of votes. That is not true. What they were actually removing, and that's what the community note is pointing out, they were removing, these gangs were removing or stealing air conditioning units. But Musk, he responded to this post, and he said this is messed up because he actually thought that you had colectivos, Maduro colectivos, taking out, removing votes. Privyet, Ptitsi. Ptitsi is Yerevan, the Yerevan birds. So yeah, that was a big mess up from Elon Musk. Let me read you the community post. Although the source has yet to be verified, it is clear that the boxes being stolen in the video are air conditioning units and not ballot boxes. A look at the original post shows Venezuelans in the comments corroborating this information. Yeah, so Elon Musk, big mess up. But Elon Musk, he endorsed Maria Corina, so he wanted to believe this. You see, this is called confirmation bias, right? He wanted to believe that this was the case. And so he saw this video and he said, aha, you see, Maduro is removing ballots. Not the case. For a man worth $200 billion, you would imagine that he could have one or two people, I don't know, maybe just kind of double checking some of these posts. I don't know. Maybe he could hire someone to check and make sure that these videos are accurate before he endorses them. So that's the first clown. It happens to all of us. It happens to me, by the way. So Elon's mistake has happened to me many times. I've seen a video and I thought it was one thing. I posted something and the video turned out to not be accurate. It's happened to me a couple of times. So it happens to the guys walking around with a camera, and it happens to oligarch billionaires worth $200 billion. So, it happens to everybody. So Meta AI, which is the artificial intelligence, I believe, of Facebook, isn't it? Well, Facebook is at it again. Someone posed the question, why is there rich and structured information about the Harris campaign, but not about the Trump assassination attempt? And Meta AI responded, the reason for this disparity in information is due to the fact that the Trump assassination attempt is a fictional event, whereas Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign is a real and ongoing event. That's Facebook, Meta AI. Artificial intelligence saying something very stupid. Artificial intelligence just being stupid. So Zuckerberg was saying that Trump was badass. Huh? He was kissing Trump butt just a week ago. And now his artificial intelligence monstrosity is spitting out lies. Who would have ever thought that Facebook would be spitting out lies? Facebook AI would be inaccurate. Who would have ever thought this? artificial intelligence is actually quite stupid at times. And going back to Elon Musk, this is a long Clown World segment. Elon Musk, he typed into Google search, President Donald, and he just left it there, and the search results gave him Donald Duck and Donald Reagan, at least the recommended drop-down list as he was typing. President Donald, gave him Donald Duck instead of Donald Trump. They will do everything to make sure that Harris wins. Absolutely. And we will do another Clown World. We have an apology from the Paris Olympic organizers for mocking Christianity. The organizers say they are really sorry if they offended anyone, saying there was never an intention of offending Christians. Clearly, there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. The opening ceremony tried to celebrate community tolerance. We believe this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are really sorry. So not much of an apology from the Olympic organizers. Not much of an apology at all. Let's cross. Let's cross. We can make it. They say they're saying sorry, but they're not really saying sorry, are they? We wanted to create an event of tolerance, and if you're offended, well, we just wanted to create an event which is welcoming and tolerant. We're sorry if you didn't like the fact that we were trying to create tolerance. Not really much of an apology, because at the end of the day, they're not really sorry, are they? No, they're not. They just want to make sure that no advertisers are pressured. That's the key word. The Olympics wants to make sure that advertisers are not pressured in pulling out the sponsorship, the funding of the Olympic Games. That's what they're worried about, because Christians around the world are plenty mad, and they're afraid that some advertisers may pull out, and they don't want the money to leave. So they're trying to calm people down by issuing an apology, non-apology, and making sure that the advertisers stay on board for the Paris 2024 Games. That's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. Go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch like this white t-shirt that I am wearing today. Like the video. Subscribe to this channel if you want. If you don't want to subscribe to this channel, if you don't want to like the video, fine. Don't like the video. That's fine. Anyway, take care, everybody. I will catch you mañana. Bye-bye.